World's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get on our winner-takes-all $300,000 NFL pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that?
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your shade for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
And so our job's to win.
You're saying that people don't say that you're funny. I think everyone I've talked to says that you're really funny. They do, really. What is it like to hear somebody like Tyrann Mathieu call you cool? What is that? What are your reactions to that?
You know what? I think this. I think it makes me. It's probably more about just feeling like you got the respect of these guys, and they know that you know what you're doing, and that you're going to put them in the best chance to have success. And I think our team is coming together. There's still a lot of things that we got to do on the football field. I love where we're at in terms of the locker room, in terms of the camaraderie with the team, in terms of the effort and the buy-in that I'm getting from everybody here. So, look, I'm excited about it, but we got a lot of hard work to do.
Preseason action, saw Tom Brady on the field. He's dapping up to Mario Davis. Everyone, I didn't see any shots of him and you. Does he avoid you? Does he Nick Foles you because of your track record against him?
No, actually, we did the production meeting with him. I didn't get a chance to see him on the field. I don't usually go out pregame, but we had a couple of, kind of laughs about a few things.
I'd love to hear what those laughs are about because I don't know that he thinks this is funny. You are 4-2 in your last 6 regular season games against him. He has 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 9-9, and a passer rating 22 points below his career average in those games.
Yeah, and I didn't play.
Yeah.
I didn't play one snap, So, look, I've been fortunate from a defensive perspective here that I've had a lot of really, really good players. And I've had a lot of really good assistant coaches.
Don't give me this humble stuff.
It's
Look
the
at my
truth.
producer. He's like, get out of here with this.
It's the truth. I mean, this is a player's game. And the players have to make plays. You can call the greatest defense or the greatest offensive play that you want to call, but the players have to execute it. And our guys have done that pretty good.
Against him especially. I wanted to see the shot of you two talking, and I was like, I don't know if he just ignores you or avoids you because you do have him figured out, even though you're being very humble right now. Let's talk about the 2024 defense with these Saints. In one word, how would you describe them?
Tough. Yeah, I think, we kind of made a commitment in the offseason to get back to the way that we play the game, which is a tough, nasty, physical style of defense. We're going to contest every play, contest every throw. Our effort level is going to be at a level that our opponent is either unwilling or unable to match. I mean, those are the things that we preach defensively. Our guys have recommitted to doing that. I don't think we did quite as well the last couple of years of doing that the way we need to. We got total buy-in from our guys. I'm excited about what I think the defense can do this year.
You're saying that. What do you mean? What do you want to be? Top one? Because you top 10 for 4 years. Last 4 years, you have top 10 defenses every year.
Yeah, and so that's the standard, and so we're trying to push the standard, like in my mind, in our mind, there's a lot of teams that would be pleased with being 8th. I don't think that's where this defense is. I think this defense wants to be the top defense in the NFL. And really since 2017, if you take into account all the statistical categories, I would put, our group up there with anybody. So it's the standard that we've set. And so when you fall even slightly below that standard, I just think it's time to kind of refocus on the things that we need to do to be the defense that we want to be.
Well, you refocus by bringing some dudes in too. Let's talk about this. Chase Young, Willie Gay, Kool-Aid. I mean, clearly, and the players love you, which I love to see. But, I'm looking at this D-line roster. You might have the deepest D-line in the NFL. You add Chase. Now, I know how good he is. Everyone knows his potential, his talent. The injuries have held him back. What are you seeing out of Chase so far?
Well, look, I think the thing I've been most pleased with is he's come in and done everything we've asked him to do, exactly how we've asked him to do it. He is a disruptive force on the defensive line. I think he's raised the level of the other players on the defensive line, whether it be a Carl Granderson or a Peyton Turner, even Cam Jordan, Brian Brzee. Like, I just think his ability to disrupt has kind of increased our energy on the defensive line.
How does he lift Cam Jordan?
How does he what?
Lift Cam Jordan. Like, how does he get the best out of Cam?
Look, Cam's competitive, right? And Cam knows, like, there's a competition here. There's only so many snaps that we can get. And so who's getting all those snaps? Cam wants to get every single one of them. And look, fortunately for us, we got a pretty deep group, in particular at the defensive end spot. And so we'll be able to keep those guys fresh and keep a good rotation, hopefully for when we get into the fourth quarter and we're having to defend these 2-minute drives and we're having to get after the quarterback, that we'll be able to do it with, a fresh 4.
Derek wouldn't give me an answer on what changed at the end of the season.
All right. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, man. Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk for your favorite sports fam. What's popping? Big ups to the great Sang Dang Tank, the entire Who Dat Nation. Big ups to you guys. Appreciate y'all joining me for this Thursday live. I'm gonna try to keep it up under an hour. Big ups to you guys. Just going over some Saints news and notes, man. Dennis Allen popped up on Up and Adams stream. She kind of recorded it down in the facility. She talked to Cam as well as Dennis Allen. Just giving y'all a bit of this, as well as another 8 minutes I want to say left of this interview. We're gonna go through this and kind of pop into the Saints news notes of the day, training camp news notes. Shout out to John Hendricks and a few things else doing as well. So big ups to you guys. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed as well. Brother Gundam, the email is should be in the LinkedIn chat, fam. There should be a LinkedIn link, link tree. Should be a link tree in the description section, bro. It should have the email contact information there. All right, so big ups to the rest of you guys. What's up, brother Duke? Shout out to you. That's right, Jason. He ain't lying. All right, let's finish this.
Or in that time where you guys go winning 4 or 5, and Derek is just on fire, 14 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Will you tell me the secret? What was the tweak?
Yeah, look, I really don't know that there was like this this one significant tweak that we did something different. I really think it was, I think Derek was more healthy at the end of the year. I think that was a big part of it. And I think B, I think we just got to a point where we were more onto the details, and we were more accountable to all the little bitty details that we needed to do. And that's really what this game is about. This game is about being disciplined and doing your job every single play. And it's not easy to do. And so I think we were just, more consistent with the details.
Coach, let's say I'm in.
All right, so this is what happened, being that, the Great Saint Think Tank and myself, we did the play-by-play on these games, and we basically broke the games down via our Patreon, all 22. We went over the last few games of the season where the Saints caught fire. They did pay attention to the details. They start actually blocking better as a unit. They played better as a unit, and Derek Carr benefited by way of them playing as a unit. That's what happened. The Saints started blocking. The Saints started running the ball. The Saints got into the play action. The Saints looked better. That's basically what it is. No, it doesn't quite sound like what Dennis Allen talking about, but this is what we do. This is how we do. And I'm just going to keep it all the way funky with you on that one. The Saints started blocking better. The Saints started running the ball better. The Saints got into their play action bag. The Saints started looking consistent. That's what happened and that's why I've been saying, and I was saying that prior to the start of the season, and pretty much during the totality of Dennis Allen's administration, now that we're in the beginning of the third layer of it, is that the reality is that he has to run the football. They talk about the defense. The defense has been good because Dennis Allen's a good defensive coordinator. Where he is not good at is being a head coach. He's failed with the Raiders as a head coach. He's not really doing that well with the Saints. He had 2 previous years that are 9 playoff years. I don't give a damn if they won 9 games. 9 games don't mean nothing unless it comes with a playoff berth, especially when you got an aging team like the Saints have. So, in the end, that's what happened with the Saints on the back end of those 4 or 5 games that they like to talk about all the time and then forget about the rest of the games because the season does not make 4 or 5 games. They started blocking better. They started running the ball, and then they got into the play action, and Derek Carr looks good in the play action. Most quarterbacks do. Play action is play action. Carr is who you want to see. You don't want Derek Carr going out trying to win games for you because Derek Carr don't know enough of the system to do that. You got to run the ball and get the play action going. That helps. So here we go.
In the kitchen, I want to make myself some Kubiak juice.
Pause.
I've got my blender out. What are the ingredients? What is Kubiak juice on this squad?
Well,
pause again.
Well, he's extremely intelligent. He's a really, really hard worker. He's creative,
No, I don't know. I'd like you to tell me what I'm going to see out there as far as motions and razzle and dazzle.
I think just from that standpoint, like he's creative with what he wants to do with his motions. I think he understands how he's going to be able to utilize some of these players. I'm really excited to see what he's doing with Taysom Hill.
What the hell is he doing? Why is he playing fullback?
He's doing everything.
That's true. This is true. But I would say, you know what? It should be something else. It should be like, oh, hold on now. You're right, KD. You said, nah, Q, that's your lady. She want that Kubiak juice. And she said it twice. And you know what? Let's keep it all the way funky on that, man. Let's just kind of smooth right on by this one.
With him, because Taysom Hill can do everything.
No, Taysom Hill's. Oh, we've seen this before. He's but fullback. I was not on my bingo card, Coach.
Yeah,
what is he looking like at fullback?
That's what creativity does, right? You bring in some new thoughts, some new ideas. They see the player in a different way. I think sometimes when you do the same thing over and over, sometimes you can just get caught in that rut of this is what this guy does, and he's more than just a quote unquote wildcat quarterback. He can do a lot of different things. He can line up as a tight end. He can line up as a wide receiver. He can line up as the tailback. He can line up as the fullback. He can block. He can catch. He can run. And so if he can do all those things, let's figure out how we can put him in positions to do that. And I think Clint's done a great job of being able to do that.
Why don't you put him on defense?
I've thought about that.
Tell me about that.
Well, we early on we kind of thought about making him a Sam linebacker.
Oh my God!
But there's
Shut
so
up.
many. No, I'm not
No
kidding.
way.
We talked about that.
Who's we?
Well, we on defense, all right. But the head coach at the time was like he wasn't giving up anything. So
got it. But you're the head coach. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but now we got him doing so many things now. Fullback, runner. There's only so many ball plays a guy can play.
Where would you?
Yeah, and you know what? That's been the thing that I love about Taysom Hill, but it's like a gift and a curse for the Saints. I remember when Sean Payton started to use him, and he was just using them all over the place. And sometimes, you got other players that are there that you need to kind of acclimate to. And I think the Saints this time around using them because it's an identity for them. Like if you in previous incarnations, you've seen them just use Taysom wherever. In this offense that Klint Kubiak's putting together, you can get an idea of some of the players in which he was the passing game coordinator last year and some of the roles that you can envision Taysom Hill being in. So if you like when they brought Kubiak here, I'm like, man, we need Taysom Hill's going to be the use check in that type of offense. And then next thing you know, later on the Saints start using him as a fullback role. It just makes all the sense in the world. Why? Because you got to have as many playmakers on the field, offensively speaking, as you can. Remember that old term, MMN, mismatch nightmares. Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and all these guys are out there. And when by way of all of those guys out there, then other guys get open, like the Juwan Johnsons, who's also very good, even though he had an off year last year. Juwan Johnson is very good. So you have guys like that moving around, plus Jamal Williams and others that'll benefit by the fact that you have mismatch nightmares on the field because the defense tends to key in on those guys. And they would try to stop them and say, let those other guys beat us. So you'll get Juwan Johnson with 6 or 7 catches for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? We can live with those guys like the Juwan Johnsons beating us or those type of guys, the secondary, or meaning the second layer, or the not so important guys in their eyes beating us. But we can't let Alvin Kamara do this. We can't let Taysom Hill. We can't let Rashid Shaheed. We can't let Chris Olave do this. You see? And the Saints have players that's underneath those guys that can ultimately hurt you too. That's the crazy part about how gifted the Saints offense really can be. Dennis Allen's hitting the nail on the head, right? I mean, the nail on the head with this, and this is talking point about how good the offense is and the imagination aspect of it. But Taysom Hill being utilized, like I said, Taysom Hill at some time should never leave the offense unless he needs a break. Then he should be on the field all the time. I'll be honest with you. Same with Alvin Kamara. They're incredibly difficult to game plan for. They're incredibly difficult. You have all of these guys that deserve double attention. And if you leave an Alvin by itself or Taysom by itself, that's a mismatch. You win in that. So they have to decide on who they're going to double down on or whoever and let other guys do their thing. So it's going to be fun. And Klint Kubiak, let's see if his imagination reigns true, bro, because this is going to be pretty good. But we don't need to overutilize Taysom Hill. We need to be operating with balance and common sense. We don't need to be running Taysom Hill into the ground and overutilize him because, you might not have him or whatever. We got to be sensible about this. This is a long ass season, man. You got to know how to put these guys in the proper position to win. We don't want to wear them down before half the season get here. So we have to be judicious and smart about our usage of our better players. Just to be honest with you. Hold on.
Did you put him on defense?
I'd play him at Sam linebacker. And I'd rush him about 50% of the time.
He would kill people. I feel like Taysom Hill. I think one game.
Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it in one game.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see him do what he's going to do at fullback, at tailback, at receiver, at tight end.
Yeah.
Personal protector, kick returner. He's got enough jobs.
In talking to Derek, I feel like he maybe more than other players for some reason is very excited about having his settled life here going into year 2. I think it's going to be a huge advantage for him. Yeah, he's settled. He feels confident. He's harping on consistency. When it comes to him, Olave, the whole offense clicking. Obviously, Kubiak, we just talked about. What are you most proud of right now going into year 2 of his experience?
Well, look, I think his ability to just focus on the task at hand, all right, not worry about any of the outside noise, just focus on what you have to do. Look, this guy's been through more change than anybody in the National Football League. And so to do that and still be able to be effective, I think is something for him to be proud of. And now, hopefully, we can now put him in a consistent environment and put some consistency around him so that he can really flourish in this offense.
Is this why you're playing them so much? You're giving them all the preseason love. I've been all across this country. You're my 20th and last stop, and I've heard it all, from I don't want to play anybody to bubble wrap to whatever. You're giving them that work.
Yeah. Well, look, the best way to get ready to play this game is to play this game. And I would say, with the exception of a cut block or actually tackling somebody to the ground, I would say the way we practice is very, very, very similar to a game in the National Football League.
So it's just that it's on TV.
So it's on TV. We're tackling guys to the ground, and so look, there's an increased risk, but I think that's the best way to get ready to play the game of football.
How much are you playing them against the Titans?
I don't know that yet.
Really? But come on, but snap count Twitter needs it. We need to know. They want to know how many snaps. They care. Everybody wants to pick you apart after.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gotta suck for you, Coach, because you can't really. You're not. There's not a great decision.
So the honest truth is, I need to see where we're at as we go through this week of practice.
Okay.
And if I feel like we need these guys to get out and play to get ready for the regular season, then they need to play. But if I feel comfortable with where we're at, then we may sit some guys.
Let's get to this Alvin Kamara situation. He's at camp. He wants a new deal, allegedly. You could tell me differently. He wasn't playing because of his back, but he was back at practice last night. I saw him out there today. What's going on with Alvin?
Listen, Alvin's been outstanding. I think this system that we're going to operate in, I think, is going to really benefit him. Look, he played in the first preseason game against Arizona. We handed him a wide zone, going to our left, and it looked like real football. That was like cool to see. And so I just envision this guy having a ton of success running the football, catching the football out of the backfield. Look, he's an important part of what we're going to do offensively.
Especially if you're being as creative as you're saying. This Klint juice with Alvin Kamara, I'm excited to see how that all works.
And I think, look, where do we need to really spend some time working? It's with Alvin Kamara in the passing game. I think we feel pretty good about where we're at in the run game. It's trying to utilize him in the passing game and seeing what are the things that we can really do with him and getting the timing and everything there with him and the quarterback, up to speed.
Derek's best friend, Alvin Kamara, hopefully. If there's not like a player that I can think of that wows me, like Matt Forte used to do that for me, but Alvin just unbelievable specimen of a player. I'm glad to see it. How much is Cam gonna not want to talk about moving inside for reps when he comes out here to talk?
He's not gonna want to talk about it at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Just to kind of address the Alvin Kamara thing. There's been no new information on that dealing with the deal. Hopefully, a deal is forthcoming. At least a couple of years, an extension of a couple of years on top of his deal that kind of meets the current window of Saints players would be nice. Like we have DeMario and Cam, these guys, Tyrann Mathieu for the next 2 years. Something like that would be nice to kind of put down there. But it depends on what's going on with Mickey Loomis and how he sees it. We've seen that he gave Pete Werner a deal. I think it was $17.5 million for what was it, 3 years or something like that. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully we can get the deal done. I know that Paulson Adebo is another guy that should be getting a contract as well. So the Saints got a few people they got to get at for the future of the team, to be honest.
How do you finesse that though? That's a big coach gig of like, let's have this talk man to man. This is where we need you.
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so many snaps on defense. There's only so many spots that he can play. And how do we get the best 11 guys on the field for that given situation? And so, look, when you've been as successful as he's been and you've really played one spot over there on the left-hand side as an edge player, both in the run game and in the passing game, to do something different, well, but it takes a special person to be able to handle that. But that's what the great teams really are able to do. They have unselfish players. And Cam's been one of the most unselfish players in our league for a long, long time.
I love to hear that.
And so I think if you asked him, what do you want to do? He'd say, I want to rush on the edge. If you say, what are you willing to do? Whatever coach asks us to do. And so I think that's the great thing about, what we've kind of got going on here.
Year two of the
We do realize that, Cam that's nothing new about Cam Jordan. He does not like to play inside. He said that several years ago. I criticized him for it. I'm like, that's prior to him going on the street to be able to have those sacks where he becomes a sack leader. That was prior to all that going on. But I'm like, and he's saying like plays. He was saying stunting at the time. Like he didn't want to stunt. He didn't want to stunt in inside. He called it dirty work. He wanted to stay clean. Now, at this stage of Cam's career, I mean, you got guys like Chase Young and Carl Granderson there, and the only way Cam's going to see that is if something happens to those guys, God forbid. So Cam's going to have to play. We've seen that in practice. Well, Cam Jordan was lined up inside, and we've seen it in the preseason game, and it actually looked pretty good. Cam looks pretty comfortable doing that. And we talk about some of the guys, some of the greats from the past that did that with the Saints, that started off as defensive ends and slid inside and had good careers. And Cam can do it, man. Cam could do it, man. He has a bevy of pass rush moves. He's strong. He's a good player in terms of doing that. And when he's rushing and you go into that little NASCAR package with him there, man, it's going to be a nice look for them to be there. Remember, we seen it was Chase Young, Carl Granderson, Cam Jordan, and who's the guy? Brian Bresee. I was like, oh, there you go. That's what we're talking about. That's when you're trying to cause some problems. That's when you call that's a good look right there. All right, back.
Derek Carr experience. Dennis Allen's coaching this team up. I cannot wait to see how it goes. Can I come back for a game?
Oh, yeah. Come
Yeah,
on, anytime.
yes. I would love to come back for a game, and then we'll see you at the Super Bowl maybe.
Sounds great.
I don't know. We've seen other quarterbacks have done it. Brady did it with his squad. I mean, they got the home thing. You're staring at that Lombardi that you blood and sweat gave from yourself to win.
Yeah, I'd love to add another one, but I think we got to get through for week one of the regular season first, and then we'll get.
Claim the damn thing, Dennis Allen. Claim it. God damn it, claim it. Claim it. Put all of the energy into it, man. We're gonna go and get another one. Claim it. Claim it as yours, man. God damn it. You know, you're looking at the actual trophy there. Yeah, I think we just got to get through. Nah, but enough of the platitudes. Just claim this stuff, man. Some of this stuff you got to claim it. Claim it as yours. That's how you're supposed to do it, baby. All right, shout out to Kay Adams, man. Love Kay, man. You know, the very good interview right here. Let's kind of shout out to you guys, man. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you as well. Quavadius, Pelicans, Nola, St. John, Butler. Shout out to you, bro. Good to see you. Big ups to JT as well. Roll, I see all y'all, man. 504, Cole, L Dub, much love. Big ups to y'all, Snakebite, Lewis. I see you, man. Appreciate you. Much love to the queens out there as well. I see y'all. Much love to all of the lovely ladies out there. Shout out to Rico. What's up, Rico? Appreciate you, fam. Charles, shout out to you as well, brother. Slim is in the building as well. Son of God, big ups to you, man. Appreciate you being in the stream, brother. Brian, KD, big ups. OG Jerry, big ups to you. Gundam is in this thing. Jason, much love, man. Appreciate all y'all, man, for being in the stream as well. Big ups. So, I started the broadcast with Dennis Allen now, going off and, saying that he has a fun demeanor. And that's what he needed to do, kind of loosen up a bit, and trying to ingratiate himself to the team. Tyrann Mathieu calls him cool. You can rock with that, Playboy. You can keep that. But outside of that, man, I got to give a man credit. He is attempting to do some stuff differently, trying to keep the team loose, bringing in more of accountable guys to kind of handle the business, so to speak, in terms of bringing that accountability in there. He's talking a message. We just need to see if for the totality of the regular season into the playoffs, if they can maintain that energy like I said in the NFC South roundtable last night, the Saints could win the NFC South. And not only that, but the Saints they have enough talent to be one of the best of the top 5 teams in the NFC. The thing is why it's tamped down, because a lot of it's 2 reasons why the excitement of the Who Dat Nation is compressed. It's compressed because of Dennis Allen, that's number 1, and Derek Carr. That's 2 reasons why a lot of people are tamping down their expectations about how far the Saints can go in this season, because they most certainly have the talent. They have the talent. They have the mismatch nightmares on offense. They got a good defense. Special teams need some help. That punter situation needs to be corrected. We need to still figure out who these returners are going to be. But outside of that, this team has more than enough talent to be a top 3 team in the NFC. Not the South, but the NFC is what I'm saying. So it all is based upon them keeping the right mentality. Last year, and we said this before Alvin Kamara, before Laddie Daddy, and all these other brothers came out and said it and almost got in trouble for it. We were saying this team is not an accountable team. You can tell how they are because it's too many pre-snap penalties and miscues. You can tell. It ain't hard to not tell because we've seen enough football to know what an undisciplined, a flip-floppish, inconsistent team look like, and that's what the Saints was for most of last year until they finally got serious toward the back end, and by that time it was too late. They needed help to get in there. And of course, that never works out for you when you don't handle your business. Usually it won't get handled. You're trying to have somebody else to handle your business, need other teams to beat other teams so you can slide on in there. It didn't work. So, I mean, in the end, like I said, if they're accountable and they talking the message like they're supposed to be talking and they handling business like they're supposed to, like what they're showing to be doing, the Saints are a top 5 team in the NFC. I would even dare say 3. The Saints start running the ball. They get into the play action bag. They get the receivers going. It's a matter of health as well. This could be something for the Saints. I'm just saying. A lot of people don't like Dennis Allen. And, if you don't like him, you don't like him. Shit, I ain't going to talk you into liking him. He did a lot of, stuff over the last couple of years to not be liked. People just don't like nobody just for them not to like no. It's reasons for all of this. So, and y'all know the reasons why most people don't like Dennis Allen. Some do. Me, I can stand Dennis Allen. I can stand him as long as he's winning. If he's winning, I'm good with Dennis Allen. I really am, because I want to, because it'll be a shame to have all this failure going on. And Tyrann Mathieu, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, all these other guys are suffering through this. And these guys, you have the right team right now to kind of make a push. You got these guys. These guys are going to be Hall of Famers. You got good guys, multiple. Let's make it happen. So that's the reality, man. So if they can play accountable and stay on code, we will make some strides. If not, then it'll be another failure. It'll be a shame. So anyway, big ups to you guys. Appreciate y'all being here. And it is what it is. Tim says, Q, what is Kamara's current contract? Didn't we give him a bag a few years ago? You did. And he's one of, annually speaking, contract wise, yearly wise, he's I think he's behind now McCaffrey from the Niners, because they reworked McCaffrey's deal and gave him a deal extension early this off season. So he's like the second annually in terms of his money. The Saints are playing him pretty good. They're paying him pretty good. And like I said, I think Alvin Kamara is worth the money. I don't think he's a beat up back. I don't think he's worn out. I think if you block for him and you know how to utilize him, he can have numbers similar to what Christian McCaffrey put up. He really could, because his skill set is comparable. In some aspects, he can surpass Christian McCaffrey. He really can. So, I mean, like I said, it's all about how you use Alvin Kamara, because he's a multi-purpose back that can be used all over the field. If you're smart, you know how to move him around the field to create matchups, to decoy him so other people have opportunities. So it's all based on the offensive imagination of the play caller. If he knows how to scheme it correctly, man, Kamara could be a big part of this, man. He can have monster numbers if we do this the right way. All right, so we'll see how it all goes, man. 504 Coach says, Q, we still need one more proven wide receiver. Well, I mean, I don't know, we got who we got, brother. You know, somebody got to step up. And could it be possible they could pick up somebody off the waiver wire? Yeah, of course, it's possible. But A.T. Perry is a guy, or Cedric Wilson Jr., those guys will be looked upon. Those are the guys that's supposed to be looked upon to be one of those third wide receivers. So we have to figure that out. So we'll see how it all goes, man. We'll see. All right. Bayou Souls says we don't have a good running back too, a second running back, a good running back too. Jamal is all right for what he do. He's just a north-south running back, man. Jamal Williams is not garbage, man. The Saints use Jamal Williams bad. I mean, he was with the Saints last year. Prior to that, with the Detroit Lions, how you explain he had 17 rushing touchdowns or whatever it was? He led the NFL in rushing. You know, obviously, when you come to, if you had 17 rushing touchdowns in one damn season with another team, and then you come to the next team and you got one on a sneak play, then obviously the team that got you there don't know what the hell they doing with you. Because that's so clear to me, man. That don't require much analysis. If you were at Detroit and you get what was it, fam? Put it in there. 17. What was the rushing total? Yeah, he led the NFL in rushing touchdowns that year for the Detroit Lions. Then the next year he comes to the Saints and get one. What does that tell you? Great Saint think tank that the New Orleans Saints don't know what the hell they doing with this guy. But everybody forgets that. Now they forget. They forget. Oh, I forgot about that. And it's all about how you use these players. You got to put these players in position to win. That's the common thing. 17 rushing touchdowns, and you go from 17 to 1, and that's his fault. Let me tell you something, fam. It don't work like that. Players, these coaches got to put the players in position to win. They got to call the plays, and they got to make sure these lines do what they're supposed to do. If the offensive line ain't handling this damn business, nobody gonna do nothing, even including Alvin Kamara. His numbers didn't look good at all last year anyway. And he was trying to run up in that line, and they weren't opening up nothing. And that's what he was saying in that presser earlier in the year when he was asking about his contract. He was talking about people false starting in practice and nobody saying nothing. He was talking against that. The Saints kind of got pissy with him, you know. For these contracts, he mentioned that, and I'm gonna have to find that part and clip it and play it for y'all, because that was a weird part. He's like, that he was trying to, Saints, what he said in that interview, that they was trying to get him to do something that he didn't want to do, and he kind of hinted at it had something to do why he had a hiccup with the contract situation currently. You just gotta listen. Alvin Kamara tells you everything. He's very straightforward. He says it all. He put it all out there. He answered all the questions about what was happening with that dispute. And then a few days later, I think it was, then Mickey came out with his stuff. So, I mean, like I said, man, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about just listening and paying attention. All right. Shout out to Brother John and Brother Kyle T. Mosley, Brother Bob at the Saints News Network. This is another edition of what they do in the Saints training camp, who set out in Thursday practice. There's some of the injuries that's taking place. And we heard some of the stuff that they were talking about, man, in terms of the injury situation. And Thursday is one of the final practice sessions. The team will move to the Superdome for Friday's practice before the preseason finale against the Tennessee Titans. Day 21 action was similar flow from the previous sessions as New Orleans worked out outside from moving operations indoors for team periods and special teams. Some of the attendance notes and early takeaways from the day. So some of the training camp day stuff. Who was in attendance Thursday? List of players who were not spotted included Rashid Shaheed, who's still dealing with a toe and foot issue, Marshawn Lattimore, hip flexor, Kendre Miller, hamstring, Kool-Aid McKinstry is there with his knee issue, Stahlberg with the ankle, Jalen Ford with the hamstring, Monty Rice with that elbow, Dalen Hawker with an ankle, Kevin Rader, and Peyton Turner has a toe issue, which Dennis Allen said was the same one he had surgery on and called it a flare-up. Chase Young, personal, return to action. Mason Tipton, shout out to Mason Tipton, and he worked at some individual drills. Rico Payton also returned and did the same. Tali Fuaga participated in team drills, which is a huge step in the right direction. Nick Seldaveri had made an appearance toward the end of practice. That's good. But DeMarco Jackson left practice early with a calf injury as he pulled up for a passing over the middle that would be a pretty big loss if he's out of action for you. And shout out to DeMarco Jackson. DeMarco Jackson has been playing really well for the Saints. He's one of some of the linebackers that we're really impressed with, that we've been waiting for. Some of these young linebackers the Saints have been accruing for them to start showing some fruit of development here. And DeMarco, the question has been out on him, what is DeMarco Jackson going to do? And he actually turned in a pretty decent training camp. Also, but you won't talk linebackers that really been tearing it up. Anthony Orgy has just been awesome, man. Anthony Orgy's been really cool. Monty Rice, before he had the little issue, Monty Rice was tearing it up. And I know Monty been in the game for like 3 or 4 years. He was a 3rd-round draft pick. And the Titans put him on the street. The Saints picked him up, and Monty Rice has been there learning the system. He played well in that first preseason game. He was the top tackler. The second one was Anthony Orgy. DeMarco Jackson played really well. Just really happy about those young linebackers, man, really doing some positive stuff, man. Even Stahlberg, when he was healthy, he had a few plays in there before he kind of started dealing with issues. So the linebackers, man, that was a question going into camp. It's good to see some of those guys are developing to solid players. Opening drive player today was the deep connection from Spencer Rattler to Kevin Austin Jr. for a 65-yard touchdown. It was a pretty throw and good route that was executed well. So there you go, Spencer Rattler tearing it up. He had a 65-yard touchdown to Kevin Austin Jr. An honorable mention for the player today that should get some love via Granderson in the second team period. He was running in coverage. Yes, that's right, on Juwan Johnson on the deep right. So they had Carl Granderson covering Juwan Johnson. Johnson had a shot at it, and Granderson might have got a hand on the ball. Tyrann Mathieu was in error, but it was an incredible play by the big man who's not known for covering like that. Carl Granderson, we knew when Carl Granderson, I seen film of Carl Granderson at Wyoming. Carl Granderson can move, man. He can move for a big guy. Carl's like 6'5", I want to say, but he can move really well. That's why I was like, man, when Carl Granderson gets it, man, he gonna be solid. That's why I told those guys the other night is that they don't know who this guy is, but they soon will. He's DE1 on Saints defense. Chase is DE2. The number 1 guy is Carl Granderson. He's arrived. All right. Anyway, Landon Young took some starting reps at the left guard today, as he's done previously in training camp. Lucas Patrick came in for the other 2 series. Ali Udo and Trevor Penning split reps at the right tackle position again. So you're seeing Landon Young stepping in. That was the question I was asking myself, is where the hell is Landon Young, who's in the last year of his rookie contract? Where is he, Paul? Remember the Saints drafted this kid out of Kentucky, this man out of Kentucky. And he is, he's flashed here, he's flashed there, but, we wanted Landon Young to kind of step up and really make his presence felt, and now he's having an opportunity at the left guard position. Maybe he can stick and stay there. We don't know. But Dennis Allen and Klint Kubiak is playing Landon Young, starting reps at the left guard position, and then kind of moving Lucas Patrick in there. And then Ali Udo and Trevor Penning are splitting reps at the right tackle position again. And that's something Trevor Penning should play in the final preseason game. He needs all the reps he can get. So you're going to see a couple of these guys out there. I don't expect to see Derek Carr and any of these guys in the final preseason game, even though Dennis Allen said what he said to Kay. I'll see if I need to such and such, but what he's going to do is try to play some of the guys that he has questions about. And you'll see a lot of those guys and there's some of these wide receivers to figure out, because after that, he has that it's now time to try to figure out what we need to do and cutting the roster down after this week here. After this game is over with, Saints got to break that roster down. So he has to be able to play some of these guys he have question marks about to decide on who needs to be on that 53-man roster and who needs to end up on the practice squad. So Dennis Allen has some tough decisions to make after the preseason matchup on Sunday. All right, boy, I tell you, man, it's almost Friday, man. I told you them preseason games get to moving, don't they, family? Don't they move? Or regular season is right on the way. All right, so let's move. He says, I thought A.T. Perry had a nice day, caught 4 or 5 targets, with a couple of those being deep connections, one of which was Jake Haener and the other one was from Derek Carr. So we're seeing A.T. Perry having a good practice. Remember, It looked too good. I think AT was thrown at 6 times in the last preseason game. He caught 2 of 6. So he had one that hit him right in his hands and he just dropped it. So, we got to do better than that. So, because, Dennis Allen astutely pinpointed AT Perry when some of those guys like Cedric Wilson and Equimia St. Brown were hurt. You wanted AT Perry to seize the day, step up. This is your chance. So Jay Kanter had a series in the third team period in which each of his 3 plays resulted in big gains. We're talking about 30 yards or more. One was an angle route over the middle to James Robinson with some major yak. Another was a deep crosser to AT Perry, and the last one was a seam route connection to Stanley Morgan Jr. One pass protection rep that really stood out was the job that Tali Fuaga did on Chase Young. It was a short completion to Kevin Austin Jr. from Derek Carr, but Fuaga was solid in protections, almost stonewalling Young. That doesn't happen often, but have some really great battles in cap, and that's iron. That's that iron shaping iron thing. So that's a good one. No kicking or punting today. It's not often we see that, but we expect to see a bit in the dome on tomorrow. So the training camp, and that's some of the training camp recaps as well. This is some of the stuff here that shout out to John Hendricks giving us the scoop on what happened during Thursday's practice. All right, so let's move into this, fam. Let me kind of move on into some of this other stuff right here. Give me just a second. I had another article up I was going to cover. Hold on here. I wanted to cover this stuff here by with Dennis Allen. What Dennis Allen was talking about with let me see if I can find this here. What Dennis Allen was talking about dealing with the issue with, I want to comment on that, what he was talking about with our second year running back here. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up the article. Kendre Miller. I wanted to kind of talk about that because the other day he brought that up again. He talking about Kendre Miller. And I just thought that was foolish to keep talking about Kendre Miller. Hold on, just give me a second. I'll bring it up momentarily. But let me just get ready to kind of go into this next article right here and share this with you guys instead. This one here, Saints shaking up offensive line before preseason finale. Some of the stuff we talked about in the previous article. Shout out to John Sigler. It's taken some time. The Saints are shaking up that offensive line before Sunday's finale. Tennessee Titans, Udo splitting reps with Penning, as we mentioned. Change needed to happen, but some of it's due to the injuries. Nick Saldiveri hasn't been able to practice since late July, which opened a hole at the left guard position. His replacement, Lucas Patrick, exited Wednesday's practice with what Dennis Allen described as muscle cramps. At right tackle, Penning's progress has remained incremental. Udo was already taking the second team snaps on that side after stepping in for Penning during the series at Tulane's open practice session. Udo and Penning split reps evenly on Wednesday. Now it's a real competition. It's a business as usual at the other spots. Fuaga is still shaking off back issues, so Landon Young is filling in for him at the left tackle. McCoy and Ruiz remain the only starters returned from last year at the center and right guard. Hergel's case is interesting, though. He's taken almost all of the second team reps behind Ruiz at the right guard position this summer, but now he is earning practice time with the starters at the left guard position and occasionally center on the second team. He's put himself in great position to make the team and dress out on game days. Allen has stressed the need to identify the 5 best offensive linemen to start up front. Could the combination include Udo and Hergel instead of Penning, Patrick, or Saldiveri? Maybe, maybe not. Time is running out for these late entrants to make their case in some competitions, but so long as Penning is struggling to handle his assignments and Saldiveri is unable to get on the practice field, it's anyone's game. So a little background and discussion there about what happens in terms of the situation with both those guys. And like I said, Hergel, I hope it's not Hergel. No disrespect to Hergel, but Nick, this is like I call them the crew misfits, because you don't have somebody that stands out from that group. Who stands out from that group? I know Nick Saldiveri was the guy that most people wanted to see because he would be another drafted offensive lineman the Saints have with a lot of potential. But the reality is that he can't stay healthy. He can't be relied upon. So And maybe he gets healthier later on in the year and improves or whatever. But right now, no. And then, of course, Lucas Patrick just happens to be the guy behind him that's playing the best. And like I said, man, we still have some stuff to figure out at the left guard position. Like I said, we were focusing on the right tackle so much because of Penny that we forgot about the left guard. You got issues there. So we'll see, man. We'll maintain it. But this last preseason game will decide a lot on what's going on between them. All right, here we go. We go to this next article. Saints running back Kendre Miller on the hot seat with roster cuts looming. Could Miller's spot be in jeopardy after missing the entirety of training camp due to injury? Shout out to Canal Street Chronicles. On this article right here, it says the Saints running back Kendre Miller, who sustained a hamstring injury during his first individual drill on day one of training camp, has yet to return as Wednesday practice concludes. Frustration from Saints head coach Dennis Allen appears to be becoming more apparent as the roster cuts approach August the 27th. Throughout training camp, Allen has emphasized how difficult it is to evaluate a player who's not on the field. When asked specifically about Miller, Allen noted that there's little new information beyond his college tape, making it challenging to envision a role for him in the offense. Allen later noted that regardless of Miller's talents, he is unsure if Miller will be able to learn the new offense in time for the Saints due to the amount of time he has missed, while previously stating that it's tough to make the roster for training camp. This is the tweet, Dennis Allen on Kendre Miller. I don't know. He's talented. I know he's talented, but I don't know if he can learn the system. I don't know if he can pick up the system because I haven't seen him out there. He'll pick up the system, man. He'll pick up the system. Miller's play style seemed like a perfect fit. It really is for the run scheme under Klint Kubiak, but we might not even get to see it amidst Miller's absence. Running back Jordan Mims and James Robinson have provided the spark in the backfield as the team evaluates who would be the best option for the third running back spot behind Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams. The clock is ticking for Miller, and with limited updates on his recovery, could end up being waived as the Saints decide who's deserved a spot on a 53-man roster. However, the team has a history of being patient with their draft picks, especially with those of potential of Miller. And that's exactly right. That's exactly right. The last statement by the writer is right as rainwater. There ain't nothing happening to Kendre Miller. Dennis Allen is blowing smoke. He ain't putting no Kendre Miller on no street. I promise you that. He ain't put no Kendre Miller on. You ain't put Peyton Turner on the street. You ain't put Zach Bowen on the street. You better not put Kendre Miller on the street. If he needs to be on the list, if he has to go on that damn pup list or whatever you call it right now, start the season off, put him on the damn list and let him rehab. But he be back when the time he needs to be. So, I mean, like I said, man, it's like he ain't have an update, man. Them people know. Stop the cap. Them people know. They have all of the information. It's not like they got some doctor, some far out way or whatever. They know it's a hamstring issue. They got all of the medicals. They got timelines. They know all of this stuff. Me and you can guess at it. Matter of fact, we don't even have to guess at it. If we listen to what they say, then you can do your own analysis. You can go and do your own research and pull up. And I've done it before here. We've done looked at medical journals and websites, and basically we're able to build timelines, our own medical timelines here, deadline on the show, based on the information the Saints gave you, what they're telling you. We built our own timelines here, medically speaking. So, I mean, they have the information, is what I'm saying. They have it. They know exactly how long he's going to be out. So this is smoke blowing. The reality, like I talked about y'all before, I've been saying this for weeks, man, about the Saints running back room. I said the Saints running back room is the deepest and best room that they have out of all of the rooms on the offense. They're the best. I've been saying that because I talked about even if Kendre Miller can't go, you still have Jordan Mims, who is a good speedy running back that can catch the ball, all this kind of. I've been saying that. And James Robinson, I say, is a good young veteran. Didn't James Robinson rush for 1,000 yards in his rookie year for the Jaguars? Oh, let me look this brother up. Hold on here. I want to say James Robinson rushed for 1,000 yards in his rookie campaign for the Jags. Hold on, let me make sure my memory serves. And he's only 26 years old. Yeah, over 1,070 yards. Let me put it on the screen for y'all so y'all can see. James Robinson, this is what he did. 26-year-old running back. Look, he was drafted by the Jags, played 14 games, 240 carries. He got over 1,000 yards. Averaged 4.5 yards per carry. It had 7 rushing touchdowns that year. The next year he didn't get 1,000, but he had more rushing TDs. He had 8 that year. He still averaged better, 4.7 versus the 4.5. But he had severely amount of less carries to get to that 1,000. But if his carries were there, he would have eclipsed it again. Then, of course, his numbers dropped in 22. He played half the games and gave him half of the production. Then he left. The Jets picked him up. Green Bay had him. He didn't get much production. But this guy is a good young running back that can play. And when the Saints picked him up, I was like, man, this guy could play, man. He can play. He can play the game. So like I said, man, this is who your running backs are. Jordan Mims is fantastic. James Robinson is a back that got 1,000 yards rushing his rookie year, and he's just 26 years of age. So if you need these guys, they're there. And not to mention, you still got Taysom Hill as a running back if you need Taysom to be a running back for you. Taysom Hill is still there. So if you add Taysom to the running back room, you're still doing good. So like I said, it was the best skill room you have out of the wide receivers, the tight ends, offensive linemen. Yeah, the running back room was the most solid room you have. That's why I'll be saying you need to focus on running the football. Get the offensive line together. Run the football, man. You got good running backs. Count on them good runners. All right. So like I said, ain't nothing gonna happen to no Kendre Miller. He wouldn't be out of his damn mind. He ain't put Zach Bowen in the street when he's supposed to. He ain't put Peyton Turner or Davenport in the street. Them guys, Davenport left on after his contract expired. He ain't cut him and put him in the street. Man, it's just what it is. All right, so anyway, let's go to this, man. Let me move on over to this article right here. I wanted to play this for y'all, man. This is what they were saying. This is from Kyle heard his prediction. I don't know if y'all heard this yet, but y'all put one in the chat if y'all can hear this.
My 5 bold predictions. I can make easy ones. Josh Allen's going to be good. Andy Reid will make the playoffs. No, I don't choose that. I'm not looking to be perfect. I'm going to take some bold predictions. Are you ready to go here? The first one's kind of negative. I think Dennis Allen, Saints, is the first coach to be let go. They've missed the playoffs back-to-back years. The NFC South, Atlanta and Carolina are undoubtedly better teams. No.
This dude, does he smoke his desk in the morning before he start talking? Carolina is not vastly better than what's measurement? What are you talking about here?
No question, the Falcons and the Panthers are much better teams. 4 of the first 6 games for Dennis Allen are against playoff teams from last year. I don't see the juice offensively. I think Dennis is the first coach to be let go. Number 2 is. All
right, so there you go. First, that's why I was like, the Atlanta thing is one thing. We can hear them saying Atlanta, that thing. We get that, but Carolina, we had two of the best independent Carolina Panther podcasters on in the round table just yesterday, and they both said that the Panthers are not making the playoffs, but they'll scare a few teams. They're gonna get a couple of wins. They did say that. So I'm going to go with my brothers Dave and Shad over Kyle and Kyle heard. Now, a lot of people feel that way about Dennis Allen. That's if everything doesn't click the way it's supposed to. Yeah, we got a tough schedule to start off, but like I said, it's very simple. If the Saints don't execute like the way they're supposed to, they don't get into the running game and start running that ball because it's really based on that offensive line. And Dennis Allen did say in the K interview that, and we just read the article. The article just spoke about it as well, is that they got to find the right lineman. They got to get the right 5 together. They got to figure out the left guard position that's still going to go down to the last preseason game. And that's what it is. Now, ultimately, I do believe that the Saints will end up probably getting a free agent after one team start cutting players. The Saints going to claim a couple of people to try to help them out there. So, I mean, the left guard position is not settled. The right tackle position, Penning still have to go down to the line. That's why I believe he'll play a lot. He'll play probably half the game if you're smart. The Tennessee Titan matchup in the Dome, he'll play half the game. Should play half the game. And that's when you'll see a lot of play at the left guard decide on who the guys are going to be. So to be honest with you, out of all of the guys, I knew Nick Seldaveri is kind of trying to work his way back. I seen what they were doing. The reports talked about Landon Young. Man, let me tell you something. If Landon Young could step in there, man, that will be a tremendous help. Him playing the left guard position. I think Landon Young could do that. I think Landon Young probably would, if you think about it, out of all of the options because Landon's a guy that's been here for 4 years now. He played tackle and guard. He's probably the most surest thing you have. Now, Lucas Patrick is, I guess he would be behind at the left guard position, but Landon Young might be that dude. He might be, at least to get you going in the start of the season. We'll have to wait and see how it all goes, but Trevor Penning got to keep doing what he do, build on what he did in that last preseason matchup. He's been doing pretty decently in these practices, so let him keep doing that. And we'll see what happens, man. But if the Saints can, like I said, if all this is contingent on if, because the culture of the team was so bad in 2 years, do they flip-flop the culture in this year? Because it was 2 years have been a culture of non-accountability. You know, guys upset about the losing and they get, targeted. They get, they're wrong for getting mad for losing. And I'm like, that's why I got at Mickey Loomis. That's why I got on Mickey Loomis so bad, because you're supposed to know better. You're supposed to been a guy that's supposed to be a general manager over the team the last, I don't know how many years, 20 some odd years or whatever, however long it's been. It's been too long, to be honest with you. But you're supposed to know what the standard is and how to keep the standard what it is. But when people start calling you out for not doing what you're supposed to do, you start berating the people as opposed to checking yourself. People not calling you out for nothing. Go check yourself. Like, man, maybe I need to do this more, do that. Or maybe if you're too damn old, let somebody hire somebody else to do it. Let the next guy take the general manager position, but he don't want to do that because he loves the goddamn cameras in his face. It's the same with the other dude in the Pelicans, man. We got guys, the VP job, we don't need to see you. We don't need to see you if you're the VP. If you're the general manager, we good. We don't need to do that. But that's why he got the job. Way too old to be holding the job, man. Your time's up. But like I said, man, that's what's been going on. It's an accountability issue. Then everything we were saying over the last 2 years, these people saying it to the T over this year. You tell me that's a coincidence? The same shit I've been saying for the last 2 years, man. This team is not accountable. They're not detail centered. This guy's not checking these people. And then Mickey Loomis sitting up there making excuses for them. They making excuses for them. All this foolishness going on now. Now, after 2 years of me berating these people over and over again, they're now coming out sounding like the great think tank. We are now attention to detail centered. We are now accountable. We're now to this, that, and the third. I'm like, man, come on, man. We've been saying that for years. How long? Why did it take so long to get here? We should have been here last year. You should have fired that mouse last year for the offensive coordinator. Should have made the move last. If you would have done this last year, the Saints would be a lot further along offensively speaking. Well, like I said, man, it's all about how fast can they get this going, because a lot of what Colin Cowherd is saying is about the Saints. Some of it is true. The crap about the Carolina Panthers, I don't know what he was smoking half his desk or something must have been. But the rest of the stuff here, some of the stuff is true. Saints do have a gauntlet. But if the Saints can run the football, if we can run the football, we're going to win some games. We're going to win enough games to make a playoff. We're going to win it. If we can run the football, we're going to win some games. Because running the football means we're getting into our play action. We whipping on some plays here. So like I said, man, it's a big if. But if the culture has changed and everything's like they saying it is, and they've been walking the talk and talking the talk, now it's time for us to see what it looked like when the regular season lights turn on. And that's when the show me stuff come into play. So I want them to win. I always want my squad to win. I don't care if Dennis Allen is the coach, just as long as he's winning. People don't want him. They want him gone. I could stand Dennis Allen if we winning. I don't, Derek Carr, if he's play action Carr, I'm good with play action Carr. I really am. I'm good. I'm good with play action Carr. I'm good with that. If they're winning, I'm good with those guys, man. That's the bottom line, because they make it too much money and they got too short of a timeline to tolerate anything else. It's not a future team. This is a right now team. Let's get it straight. This is a right now team. They got to win right now. They got their best players set up for this year and next year. After that, the team is a whole new team. All like some of these people, Tyrann Mathieu and all of them guys going in 2 years. You got to win right now. This is right now winning. All right. Shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all got any questions? Y'all throw them in the chat. I got about maybe about 10, 15 minutes left for the show, man. Y'all got any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. I got to jump on another stream in a little bit, the Pelican post-game report. We're going to get on there and talk a little Pelicans for my Pelican family members. DC and Lexa will join me on PPR tonight. We'll be talking Pels, so y'all look that up. All right, any questions, man? Throw it in the chat, please. All right, what's up, Brother Keldrick? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you, man. 504 Code says, don't even understand why DA would come at Kendre sideways like that, trying to break the young man's confidence just like he did Penning. I don't know what's going on with Dennis Allen, because Kendre Miller, at first, he might have had a point on some stuff, bro. But really, truthfully, you don't have much of a point on it now, because several players are dealing with hamstring issues. When Kendre Miller got his, he said it then. But now, since then, several players, including DeMario Davis and other well-known Saints people, have been dealing with hamstring issues. Now, if you can't evaluate him like you want to decide something, you know what you're going to do. If he's not healthy to play, you know what you need to do. If that's a common thing that that needs to happen. If he can't go, then you know what you need to do. You know what you got to do. But you're not going to put him in the street. I know that for a fact. All right, Charles says, Q, let's be for real. Dennis Allen's going to be the reason why we lose games. He's going to find a way to lose games. The thing about Dennis Allen that is a positive that I will give this, Brother Charles, is this. Dennis Allen does stay out of the way of his offensive coordinator. He does stay out of the way. Now I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it all the way funky with you, like I like to say. I'm gonna keep it $115 with you. He does tend to stay out of the way. He stays out of the way. So whatever you see happen with Klint Kubiak, I think he'll go and communicate with him, stuff like that. But in the end, I think he'll stay out of the way as long as he needs to stay out of the way. But you got to understand, there's going to be a difference here because he's under the gun. He's under the gun this year, so it's a lot of pressure. He's feeling the pressure, and I know he's feeling the pressure because this is not his mode of operandi. This is not what his profile is not what you see. Board games and doing all this other stuff, trying to lighten the move around the team, bringing in motivational speakers and stuff like that. He wasn't doing that before. And the reason why he's doing that now is because it's the pressure of getting this to change the culture of the team for what it was, what he created it to be over the last 2 years. That's what he created it. And Alvin Kamara was talking about it. And I could play Kamara's interview. Y'all remember that when he was talking about the standard, he did this. And you let it drop behind down here, we're going to have problems. He did that, put his hand up like that and then dropped it down like that. Y'all remember? But like I said, we've been saying that, man. We know what non-accountable teams look like. But now I think Dennis Allen, to a degree, like I asked about what makes the change, it's the pressure. You're under the gun, and you have to do what you need to do to keep the team winning. And it's not a hard thing. The Saints defense is good. They need to just figure out a way to run the ball. If the Saints got to make a trade or if they got to sign people, you get that straight before the regular season starts. You get that straight. So if they don't like what they got, they can always go and see if they can make a trade. They could pull off a trade with a team and see if they can find somebody. They got options out there. Mickey Loomis just got to get to working on that phone. But yeah, we'll see, fam. The word is still out, bro. So like I said, he does. He does, like I was saying in the earlier show, claim the championship. You ain't going to do that. They're not going to claim it because it puts another layer of pressure that they don't want on them. But champions, that if you're a champion mindset and you want championships, the first thing you got to do is visualize and claim it. It's a part of the manifest thing. Like if you're trying to create or manifest some change in your life, Thinking it is one thing, but you got to pronounce it. It's like that thing, well, let there be light. Let there be this. Let there be that. Why wasn't it just a thought? God thought this, and then you see, it's everything operates in sequence. So if you're a person that believe that you want a better life, you got to speak it into existence, just like you can speak death upon yourself by saying the wrong stuff. And trust me, they got guys out here, girls out here, be running their damn mouth and saying the wrong thing. Somebody turn them off like a light switch, or they get their head combed. So either way, it's life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you can speak yourself up or you can speak yourself down. You got to claim a lot of this, man. Claim it as yours. You know, notice when he did that, he was like, that would be nice and all that. Nah, claim it. You don't want that pressure. You don't want any more added pressure, but that's not his mindset. That's not the mindset of this man. This man don't think like that. They have coaches out there that really do, but it's not this man. So we'll see what they got, man. They got plenty of time, man, to decide on what we're going to do and how we're going to be. All right. Travis says running back is great. Running back room is great. Can Mr. $150 worth of beignets, Derek Carr, can improve, not stare down the safety, will be okay. Got to put points on the board. Play action Carr, bro. Because like I said, when you was watching the preseason games, he still was staring people down. That's what he does. That's what he does. He's been doing that for 10 years. If you go back and watch the film, he does do that. He does because he thinks he got more time. He don't have a clock in his head. You can look at the film. Like last year, early on, he was just staring the guy, and then like, man, what are you doing? Like there was times where you could count one, Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5, Mississippi 6, Mississippi. He's still holding on to the ball. Then the guy comes and sack him and knock the ball out of his hand. Like, bro, what is you doing, man? Don't you have a clock in your head? You can't stand back there all day with the ball. Even Drew Brees said that when we played the interview last week. Drew Brees, like, you can't stand back there for 5 seconds with the ball in your hand. You know, and you know that's I don't think he was throwing that at Carr. He was just saying it generally for NFL quarterbacks. You can't, because he would never criticize Carr like that, but you got to have a clock in your head. You got to be able to get rid of the ball when you're supposed to. Get rid of the ball. Get rid of it, and don't stare people down, because you set your players up for injury when you do that, because the defender's going to see who you're looking at, and he's going to go right to him and knock the piss out of him. So you help those guys out when you look them off. Like if you're looking right and you won't go right, you know, go at least pump fake to, I mean, if you're looking left, you want to go left, at least look right and pump fake to the right to freeze the safety, then go back to where you want to go to. You know, he got to pick that game up. That's why I'm not confident that he can make them change. You're trying to get him to change 10 years worth of bad habits in one season. That's not going to happen, because that's not how the human mind works. It's not how the human mind works. It takes years to undo a lot of them bad habits. You might break 1 or 2 bad habits, depending on how, if they're life-threatening habits, like you might take you a couple, if you're a smoker, it might take you a year or 2 to stop smoking. Because if you were smoking for 20 years or whatever, it might take you a year or 2 to stop smoking, to get start transitioning to gum or whatever you got to do to get off of that. But it takes time. Like if you've been heavy for 10 years of your life, you're not going to lose it in 1 year unless you're sick, like really sick. But if you're losing it healthy, it takes time, because you put it on. How you put it on is usually how you got to take it off. You get what I'm saying? Usually it takes time is what I'm saying. So, you know, I don't have confidence in that process for him, because we don't really have time like that. So play action Carr is the best thing we can do. We play action Carr, like get the ball out of his hands, hand the ball off, get to the play action. He operates well in that. He knows play action football. I can tell you that much. That's outside of throwing the deep ball, that's his best. That's the best part of Derek Carr's game. That's what we can only hope for, is to see play action Carr. All that other stuff is going to take some time, bro. It really is. Yeah, that's coming up tomorrow there, brother John. Yeah, I've been working on that, man. I've been had some computer issues, bro. Yeah, but that'll be up for the Patreon family members tomorrow night, matter of fact. Yeah, the 53-man roster prediction video will be up for our Patreon and our YouTube membership family tomorrow night. So y'all be able to check that out. All right. Thank you for reminding me that, bro. I was going to make that at the end of the show. Charles said, I don't know Dennis Allen because he wants to be friends with all the coaches of the league. I never seen him beat the brakes off any team since he got a couple of wins somewhere. Derek, what's up, Derek? Says Tajay Spears said he was hurt the Saints didn't take him. I know, bro. Remember we talked about that when we had the draft special, bro? And I said, Tajay Spears should have been a dude, but it was Kendre Miller. And I was like, wow, the Saints did that. But we knew what time it was. We was like, Tajay Spears was the guy. Tajay Spears is so awesome, man. Like even when that game against the USC game, when he was in that USC game, it was him tearing them people up like that, beating Caleb Williams. It was him doing it. He was running the ball, catching the ball, and the quarterback did really well. The Tulane quarterback did really well. I don't even know where he went. Where did the Tulane quarterback end up? But Tajay Spears is a special running back, man. And that was Dennis Allen's call. These guys don't take enough of these local spectacular players. Like if you got a regular guy, that's one thing, but you got spectacular players. You got to pick these guys, man. You can't be a fool and let some of these other guys go to these other teams. And you letting people go to Atlanta or Carolina and these guys are in your goddamn backyard. You're supposed to have a dossier built up on them in terms of, the scouting resume. The scouting dossier should be built up sky high on these people because they're in your backyard. They don't do that though, man. They look everywhere else but besides their backyard, and then they bring in undrafted players and say, let's give these guys a shot. But you never see none of the top of the elite of the state or the area, period, that they go out and go get and make it a point of emphasis to bring them to the team. They don't do that because they're not clicked in like that. They're not tied into these local people like that. They like to try to pretend they are, but they don't. They don't take some of these players. They don't go after some of these players. They don't. That's something that we've been talking about for years, and that's been happening since Sean Payton was here when he was going way up to Ohio State drafting these people and all these LSU people and all these other people around here. It just stayed their mentality, man. 504 Coach says, Q, do we keep? I think we keep probably 5, bro. I don't know if it'll be 6. I think we keep 5 guys. And, it's with health is going to be Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry. Well, you know what? I'm gonna wait on that. They got a few of them I got for the draft show for the family members. If they want to hear my calls on that, y'all can listen to the show on Patreon and YouTube membership, fam. Duke says Carr has to understand defenders are playing him for a bad QB habit, start staring receivers down and accept it as long as he's been there. Yeah, oh yeah. But that's what they've been tolerating. Like the only guy the stats at times tell the truth. Like if you look at what happened with Derek Carr under Chucky, when Chucky was there, his numbers were astronomical. Why? Because Chucky was a difficult taskmaster for him, for Derek Carr. He stayed on Derek Carr. He would cuss at Derek Carr and fuss at him. And that's why his numbers was like off the chain, like 4,000 yards each season. But he wasn't doing that with Chucky, without Chucky. He went through the roof with Chucky because Chucky was accountable. He would get on him and make sure he wasn't doing that. Then the numbers fell down. When Chucky left, the numbers, everything kind of fell back because he's a player that you always have to be on, because I'm not saying he's not self-accountable, but now he needs somebody to push him. He said that in interviews before. He needs somebody to push him. So if Klint Kubiak can be not a difficult guy cussing at him, because Klint Kubiak ain't gonna cuss at you. He's just gonna talk to you. You're all right. You're right. And if you don't see the results that he needs to see, he's gonna just pull you out of there. Now, will he do that? Derek Carr? Derek Carr is struggling and hurting the Saints. Yeah, they'll put Derek Carr. They'll sit him down. They won't let Derek Carr take everybody down with the ship if he's playing bad. If he's playing bad, you got to go sit down. Can't let him be out there hurting you. You might have to. He just wasn't on his game that day. So let's get the next guy in there. Let's see if we can change it up, get some energy. That's stuff that most good teams do. If the guy don't have it, you got to sit him down. Duke says Carr has done. Yeah, I got you. Appreciate you, Duke. Mad Drummer says on the note with drafted hometown players. Q, do you think they ain't trying to give the player a chance to expand? I don't know if it's that, bro. I don't know. I think the Saints do. They like when they got Sincere Haynesworth, right? They got Sincere Haynesworth. That was cool, and that's like a storyline. But the Saints kind of do that with some of the undrafted guys from Tulane or something like that. Like the young linebacker we had a couple of years ago, who was from Tulane, then they put him in the street. So, but they don't put the emphasis is not on like the local talent. And it's not like some of these guys we got down here are like really good, but they have a mindset to look for players elsewhere. Like we pick our apples from Ohio State, it is that there. And it doesn't work out for them, but don't forget, always look around where you are. You got to fly, get on a plane and fly way up there to go and do all that. If you within driving area distance of some of these places, man, go over there to LSU and go look at them people. Might want to go and look at Harold Perkins. I don't know if you'd be in position to get him, but Harold Perkins, and they got several other players out there that's pretty damn good. So, I mean, Tulane might have somebody that you might want to take a look at that's actually tearing up some stuff, looking pretty good. And there are other colleges that within the area, whether they in Mississippi or within driving distance. You got to get in there. You got to get your scout team on them, man. You got to start putting a priority on some of these guys around us because a lot of these guys go somewhere else and they hurt you. They tear you up. So that's why the Tajay Spears thing when they drafted Kendre Miller. I like Kendre Miller, but I thought Tajay Spears would be a good replacement. Like if he was going Alvin Kamara, Tajay Spears, his game, he's not as heavy as Kamara, I won't say, but he's a special player that you would want to have in your offense. And Saints just went somewhere else, man, from him, the guy from down here. So, it's just what it is. All right. So anyway, with that, yeah, there you go, vibing. Yeah. Nick Anderson, yeah, from Tulane. Yeah, the Saints put him in the street. All right. So anyway, fam, let me get on up out of here. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all do me a service, man. If y'all enjoyed the show, please feel free to spike the like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. And hit the notification bell, as well as we will return on Friday. We're going to do the preview stream, Saints Titans preview stream on Friday. We'll go over the latest news, notes, and items, the latest pressers. We'll cover all that tomorrow on our Friday stream. And like I said, we also, for my Patreon and YouTube membership family, the 53-man prediction video will be available Friday night as well. So you guys going to have double the content. So we'll be doing it like that. So anyway, with that being said, let me get on out of here. I'm about to jump on over to my Pelican stream. Listen, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all keep y'all heads up. Much love to y'all, man. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Much love. And that to you.
Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Fucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, probably like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get on our winner-takes-all $300,000 NFL pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today and use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
WhoThatDaily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.